Today, this nervous American has arrived in Sydney off a flight from Los Angeles. And he's only carrying 2 small pieces of hand luggage.
He's here for a 2-day business trip, but he's ridiculously nervous. He's saying he just hasn't slept for 24 hours, and when he does that, he gets very nervous, but there could be more to it, I believe.
So I left my house at like 3 o'clock Monday. I've been flying since then.
So only 24 hours you haven't slept for, and you're like this?
Yeah, I mean, I probably nodded off for like a half hour on the flight, but that's about it.
Officers are not convinced that fatigue is the only reason for his nervousness, and they need to work out why he appears to be so on edge.
How much cash are you carrying today?
Not much, probably about 20 bucks.
What about debts or anything like that? Do you owe money to anyone?
His unusual behaviour may be an indicator that he is trying to smuggle narcotics into the country. So his suitcase is taken to be X-rayed to check for any concealments. The image is inconclusive and shows an unexplained thickness at one end of the case.
It appears to be fairly heavy. It appears to be quite thick on this end, so I might get you to drill this.
Drill that?
Yeah, just a couple in that end.
Yeah.
A secondary examination is carried out on the bag, as suspicions grow that he may be up to something.
Obviously the passenger's displaying pretty nervous signs there, sweating profusely. Yeah, we're not overly happy with him at this point.
We're going to need to look in these bags, so I want you not to touch them, sir.
Okay.
Just wait there for the moment.
Biosecurity officers have stopped a man arriving in a group from India after X-rays showed his suitcase contains undeclared organic material.
And there is a substantive amount of foods in there. They are non-declarants, so we're just going to see what they've got.
An incoming passenger card is a legal document that must be answered truthfully.
So I'm going to need to ask you, is this your name and your signature?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you fill this card out yourself?
Yeah.
Did you read all of these questions?
Yeah.
And did you understand the questions?
This was filled by my wife.
Okay, so you didn't fill this out?
Yeah.
Where's your wife now?
From India.
Is she travelling with you?
Yeah.
Where is she?
She went away just with the group.
Okay. All right. So who packed these bags, sir?
Yeah, also.
You packed the bags, so you know what is inside the bags?
I know.
And the bags and the contents belong to you?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Well, we're going to have a look inside here today, as well as this bag here, okay? All right.
Supervising Officer Andrea searches the man's bag and soon discovers exactly what it is that he should have declared.
We have oranges, apples.
We thought that
Can you read?
home foods.
Where does it say that, sir, on the card?
They told that home foods should not be there. Home ready-made foods.
It says meat, poultry, fish, seafood, eggs, dairy, fruit, vegetables. This is fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, fruit.
Homemade fruits.
No, it doesn't say homemade food. It just tells you these categories. And even if you had home food, so and it clearly says up here, you must answer every question. If you're not sure, you mark yes.
Fruit can carry many diseases which could threaten Australia's fragile ecosystem, and this passenger could be facing a hefty fine.
Okay, if you're unsure or you couldn't see or whatever your excuse is, this is inexcusable.
At Brisbane Airport, immigration has stopped 3 men arriving on tourist visas from Taiwan. They presented separately at the primary line, but officers believe they may be connected.
So we've just had 3 Taiwanese males come through the line, all separately. When we've taken them back to the desk, they've sort of congregated back together, which has sparked our initial curiosity. We've asked them a few questions about their trip, which haven't quite added up, and now we're referring them on for a baggage search and seeing what happens there.
Customs and Border Protection search and X-ray the luggage of all 3 passengers. The only item of interest is a USB stick discovered in the bag of this man, Mr. Peng. It contains documents in Mandarin that immigration will need to take a closer look at.
We suspect that the files located in a USB will actually provide us with a clear indication of what Mr Peng's intentions are in Australia.
The documents on the USB are taken to be translated, and the 3 passengers will be interviewed, as already there are doubts about their story.
One of the things that tied the 3 men together is that they had their cards filled out in the same way, and that they were all staying at the same hotel on the Gold Coast. When we've rung up the hotel to confirm their booking, we've found that there is no booking for them.
Using an interpreter, immigration officers will question the passengers to establish why they are here and how they know each other.
We used to work for the same employer.
But in another interview room, Mr Peng offers a different explanation.
You claim to have met them when you were growing up and you meet with them on a regular basis in Taiwan?
Yeah, that's right.
One man is saying, we've known each other since we were kids in the same town in Taiwan, whereas another gentleman is saying, we know each other because we work at the same company. Can't name the company that they work for, but they all work together. So that sort of difference is a major difference. You don't get that wrong.
Suspicions are growing that the men may be here for something much more sinister than a holiday, as they claim. So, when one of the passengers indicates that there was a 4th man on the flight with them, Officer Raylene heads out to the arrivals hall to try and locate him. And she makes an unexpected discovery. In Sydney, Customs and Border Protection is searching the hand luggage of this nervous American for any possible concealments. While nothing is found, there are still concerns that he may be trying to smuggle narcotics and that he could have abandoned other luggage.
You haven't got any checked-in bags at all? No?
Drug couriers have been known to panic and dump their contraband when under pressure. So officers need to eliminate this possibility.
Any other bags in the night?
That's what we're going to check.
We'll try to confirm whether we have all of these bags, but we're also going to look at all the mishandled bags for the flight.
While they search for any other bags, a specialist team will make one other check.
What we're going to do now is board the aircraft, check where the gentleman was seated, see if he hasn't dumped anything there or anything in the toilets on the aircraft.
But when asked where he was sitting, the passenger goes blank.
Can't remember what seat he was in? Or...
I asked him, he doesn't remember.
And now he can't find his boarding pass.
Is it in your pocket? It's not in your pocket, is it?
No, I don't have anything in my pocket.
Yes.
Finally, he produces it.
Finger! 16F.
But what he doesn't realise is that a search of the plane is already underway.
We have oranges, apples.
Biosecurity officers have discovered high-risk fruit in the baggage of this non-declarant passenger travelling from India.
This is inexcusable.
He could be facing a hefty fine, but he's blaming his wife, who has already exited, for filling out his passenger card incorrectly. And now it's the airline's fault.
The flight, they should announce it.
The flight they do announce it.
They call home-cooked foods.
No, it doesn't say home.
And in the Delhi airport, they should make it, no?
Well, it's your responsibility, sir. This is a legal document. You've signed this. What's in this one, sir? This is home-cooked food. So you're telling me about home-cooked food and you still didn't declare it. And this is home-cooked food. So this is like a form of popcorn?
Yeah, now we get ready-made from market. We get
From the market. Is the nuts? Cooked nuts?
Even though undeclared food continues to be found in his bag, he's still blaming his wife.
This gentleman's wife has already exited with some baggage. Because we found the items we have found, I just want to make sure that she's not carrying anything in her cabin baggage.
While the passenger's wife will need to be located outside in the terminal, he's still refusing to take any responsibility.
never trust no ladies.
Trust who?
Ladies.
Ladies.
She filled the form.
It doesn't matter, sir.
No.
But sir, I'm sorry, but you're...
I'm sorry, I'm not... with due respect, I have you for ladies.
Yeah.
But she has filled, she's a doctor.
Yeah, but...
Before filling, she should know. I
sir,
have the glasses, no?
But sir, is this your signature?
She's my wife.
Sir,
Yeah, she's my wife. I have to trust her.
Okay, but sir, going back to this is your signature.
I'm a doctor, I have come to present a paper here for infertility.
Okay, that's great.
Your country has invited me for the presenting a paper here.
That's good, sir. Again, sir, you should have read over what your wife had done. You're responsible. No, not your wife.
I think she thought in
it.
cabin baggage they are not there. She thought it's in cabin baggage.
It doesn't matter if it's in cabin baggage or in hold baggage, sir. It's still with you.
16F.
We've already sent a team to have a look.
There are concerns this extremely nervous American may have dumped narcotics on board the aircraft he just arrived on from Los Angeles.
What we're going to do now is board the aircraft, check where the gentleman was seated, see if he hasn't dumped anything there or anything in the toilets on the aircraft.
In the meantime, officers also want to check that he has nothing illicit concealed on his body.
In light of the fact that you're obviously displaying nervous signs, we're going to detain you for the purpose of a frisk search. So it's a male officer, pat down the outside of your clothes. What I need you to do is read both sides of this card.
I'm fine with this.
Okay. So male officer here will do the search. Specialist officer here, arms up for me. Thank you.
Immigration is speaking to 3 Taiwanese men who are claiming they are simply here for a holiday.
You've said that you've got 7 days in Australia. Can you tell me what you're going to do day by day?
We are going to travel to Gold Coast.
But with their stories not quite adding up, alarm bells start ringing when one of them reveals they were not travelling alone. Officer Raylene heads out to the arrivals hall to find a possible 4th member of the group.
So I've gone out to the arrivals hall and I found 2 gentlemen who look to be from Taiwan.
One of the 2 men, who is carrying a valid visa, says he is there to pick up all the passengers. The other man turns out to be the person immigration is looking for. He confirms that he is travelling with the group. But for some reason, Officer Stella's passenger is denying this fact.
There's a gentleman outside, a Taiwanese passport holder, who says that he travelled with you today.
I am not very sure. You can ask the other 2 friends.
You're saying that you travelled with 3 people today. When we've walked outside, there's a gentleman there saying that he travelled with you. He knows all of you and he knows your names. Why would you lie about that? I want you to tell me the truth.
While this nervous American is being frisked,
Arms up for me. Thanks.
Customs and Border Protection is also searching the aircraft he arrived on for any drugs that may have been dumped on board. The frisk is negative.
Put your shoes back on, sir.
But the investigation is not over, as there is still a possibility that he may be carrying narcotics internally.
You ate on the flight, did you, or...?
I didn't eat very much at all, and I didn't drink hardly any water, and I probably shouldn't have had alcohol on the flight, so I think I'm just really dehydrated and tired.
But Officer Nick has his doubts.
He stated he hasn't eaten much at all on the plane. He said he had a couple of alcoholic drinks. That's all he's had, so there's another indicator there to suggest that by not eating anything, he's trying to keep whatever's inside him still in him. So you haven't swallowed anything today that you shouldn't have?
Nope.
Not meeting anyone here, delivering anything?
No.
We've got a body scan machine here, it takes an x-ray of you internally. Would you have any problem with us doing that?
Got nothing to hide.
Nothing to hide?
The case is discussed with Customs and Border Protection supervisors.
We're going to put him through the body scan now. He's sweating so much, he's like he's jumped out of the shower or something. he's that nervous that you pretty much have to.
She filled the form.
It doesn't matter, sir.
While officers are trying to locate the wife of this doctor, he is continuing to blame her for not declaring a number of food items on his incoming passenger cards.
Again, sir, you should have read over what your wife had done. You're responsible. No? You will be issued today an infringement notice of $340. Because you failed to declare on the card, sir, okay? And that's the law. Okay?
We are not aware of this. No?
But sir, this is a document in front of you. It clearly says if you're not sure, you must say yes. Okay? You are responsible for what you bring into the country, sir.
The maximum $340 fine is issued, and as the man's wife approaches, he is not happy.
You did not read here, fruits are not allowed. It's not cabin for this one.
No, I didn't know what was inside the suitcase.
While his wife's carry-on baggage will be checked for any prohibited items, he is far from happy about the situation.
I'm a doctor and your country has invited me for presenting a paper on in vitro infertilization. I'm a renowned doctor from India. I presented papers in UK, Europe countries and Australia and USA, Turkey. This is the first time they have been insulted here at the customs, and I am very unhappy to this.
The carry-on luggage gets the all clear, but he still needs to pay the fine.
I just need you to sign this, and then we can make the payment, and you can be on your way. Okay?
Yeah, we are ready to get the money to the Australian government.
Okay, thank you, sir.
The fruit will be destroyed, and biosecurity officers give the passengers information on what to declare next time they fly.
And hopefully this won't deter your stay in Australia too
Very
much.
bad.
Okay.
There's a gentleman there saying that he travelled with you. He knows all of you and he knows your names. Why would you lie about that?
In Brisbane, this Taiwanese man is adamant that he's only travelling with 2 other men. But immigration believes they have located a 4th member of the group who has made it through to the arrivals area.
He has admitted to me that he travelled with the 3 other passengers that we are currently interviewing. We're going to actually want to speak to this gentleman now ourselves.
The man is taken to be interviewed further while officers try to make sense of all the conflicting information. And they may finally have a breakthrough.
Pablo's managed to find a USB that contains some information, which is a script.
And the translated script finally reveals what these men's true intentions are.
There's something not right here with these guys. It's a scam.
This American is being escorted to determine if he is carrying any drugs internally.
So we've just taken him into our body scan room, doing a non-medical internal examination. Basically, with his extreme nervous behaviour, and he's only here for a 2-day trip, we're going to see if he's got anything inside him.
While this is conducted, officers are returning from a thorough search of the plane for any narcotics.
We check the aircraft and there's negative for anything left behind in the toilets or around the gentleman's seat.
The body scan image has also been assessed.
I've just got the results back from the body scan. It's come back negative. So it appears today the gentleman was just an extremely nervous flyer.
So he is now free to go.
Nothing personal. I've never been through this process, so
That's
it doesn't
all
make
right.
me nervous.
We just need to go through a certain procedure.
Be with respect.
No worries.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So we're not concerned that he's carrying anything today, so the gentleman's right to leave.
I got off for like 20 hours of flying, didn't sleep, had a cocktail or 2, so I was, kind of tired and groggy, and so they were just doing their job. They were professional the entire time. So it's all you can ask for.
Immigration has just discovered evidence that suggests this group of Taiwanese men may have come to Australia to engage in illegal activities.
Pablo's managed to find a USB that contains some information, which is a script for someone that's going to call up a member of the public and try and gain their credit card information from them by telling them, hey, your credit card's lost. How about you give me your credit card details now so I can investigate the matter further? It's a scam, so they can sort of grift money out of their credit cards.
There is now sufficient grounds to consider cancelling their visas. But first, the men are given a chance to respond.
My intention of coming to Australia is for holiday. I'm a genuine tourist. All my experience so far is very unpleasant. I don't know why you treat me like some person will come here for illegal purposes.
And Mr. Chang decides to throw in the towel.
If you want to cancel the visa, just cancel it. Do not do things like this. It's already been like a whole day. I'm really getting tired.
如果他要取消就给他取消了，我没有什么好讲的啦。
If you want to cancel the visa, you cancel it.
Taking their responses and all the evidence into consideration, immigration has made a decision.
And I've weighed up the evidence available before me and have found that there are sufficient grounds to cancel your visa.
You have been refused immigration clearance and will be removed from Australia as an unlawful non-citizen.
The visas of all 4 passengers are now cancelled.
In terms of risk, today was a good day for immigration. We have 4 guys that were coming in that we believe had an intent to scam innocent people from their credit card details and potentially a lot of money. So this was a good get for us.
It's 5:30 a.m. in Adelaide, and officers are about to act on intelligence regarding the location of a Chinese national who has escaped from immigration detention.
He was held at the Adelaide immigration transit accommodation for 2 days before he absconded and has been unlawfully in Australia since that time.
Knowing their person of interest could try to run again, a large team of officers cautiously approach the property.
So just confirming PLO's car's on site, guys.
With the man's car parked out the front, all exits at the side and rear of the house are covered. Officers want to be sure that if he is inside, he won't get away a second time.
Hello, it's immigration. Can you open the door, please?
Suddenly, someone inside attempts to open a front window.
Yeah, there's a slide in the front.
And now they are making their way quickly through the house to try and flee out the back door.
Okay, I need to open this one.
At Sydney Airport, this Mongolian woman has been stopped by biosecurity officers after an X-ray revealed she may be carrying undeclared organic material in her luggage. But a search of her suitcase leads to an unexpected discovery.
It's not orange juice.
The passenger is carrying a juice container that clearly does not contain any liquid.
Why put it in there?
The box has been glued shut and is full of medicine.
All right, 1 second.
Undeclared medication is a Customs and Border Protection issue, and Officer Jacqueline is called to question the passenger.
It's your medicine. Yeah, why is it in here? Why did you put it in here? Is this your medicine? Or are you carrying it for somebody else? Your medicine, okay. How come you didn't declare it for question number 1? It asked you whether you've got medicine in there. And you answered no.
Medicine. I understand medicine.
Yeah, medicine, but this is medicine. And you've declared that you aren't carrying any medicine in this question.
It's not medicine.
This is medicine.
I don't speak English. I can't I understand this.
Unable to get answers from the passenger, Officer Jacqueline needs to find out why this Australian resident went to so much trouble to conceal the medication.
He's going to take a swab. We'll test it for traces of explosives and drugs.
I don't think I got.
No, you're not going to call anybody at this point. I'm just going to conduct the test. I'll put it in a machine and I'll come back.
A swab test will reveal if there are any traces of illegal substances on the container. In Melbourne, Customs and Border Protection officers have stopped this woman and her 2 male travelling companions who are returning home from a trip to Cambodia.
Well, basically, it's her first time out of Australia, so we just wanted to see what she was doing, why she went to Cambodia, why that was the place that she selected. Her friend owns a hotel over there. He's getting it up and running at the moment, so the accommodation, everything was provided.
All 3 passengers have not declared anything on their incoming passenger cards, but their luggage will be checked for any prohibited items.
Are these just some DVDs?
Yep. So how do you guys know each other?
Well, they're old friends. We originally met at a pub where I was working, and he's a old footy trainer of my cousin's.
During the bag search of the woman's belongings, something that seems fairly innocent has caught Supervising Officer Steve's attention. The packaging states that it's just a torch. But it seems looks can be very deceiving.
That's a taser.
Taser?
Yep. You can't bring stuff like that back. That's not a torch, that's a taser. Nearly killed myself with it.
She's brought a concealed weapon across the border.
Okay, I must caution you, you do not have to say or do anything, but anything you do say or do may be used in evidence. Do you understand that?
And officers soon discover it's not the only dangerous concealment.
Immigration, we've got a search warrant. Can you open the front door, please?
In Adelaide, a compliance team has surrounded this house where they suspect a Chinese national who previously escaped from immigration detention may be hiding.
He attempted to come out the back door, so just be careful.
With no way of escape, the door finally opens.
Good morning, mates. Immigration, we've got a search warrant, OK? Can you step inside? My officer's going to come in and conduct the search, OK? Just move to the side, thank you. In you go, guys.
The house is thoroughly searched.
Just leave your shoes for now, mate, and go sit down there, all right?
5 adults and 1 child are located. Immigration checks each person's identification and visa status.
That's enough on that one, mate. We'll move on to the next one.
They all check out, except for this man who matches the description of the escapee immigration is searching for. Suspecting it is him, officers are not taking any chances.
Just a second, you're not going anywhere, OK? There's 8 officers here, mate. You're not going anywhere. So if you try to run again, it's not going to go well, OK? So take a seat there and behave for us, all right?
He will be kept under close watch as an interview is conducted using a Mandarin interpreter.
Okay, do you have a visa to be in Australia currently? No? And have you ever had any dealings with immigration in the past? Yeah. What were those dealings?
因为没有签证被抓进去。
I had no visa, so I was detained.
Looks like immigration has their man, but there is now one other serious concern.
Where did you obtain this passport? Is this document fake?
It's not orange juice.
In Sydney, Biosecurity officers have discovered a large amount of undeclared medication concealed in a juice container in this Mongolian woman's luggage. Customs and Border Protection have been called over to investigate further.
We'll test it for traces of explosives and drugs.
The swab test gives a positive result for ephedrine, a prohibited substance. But there may be an innocent explanation.
We could be getting the reading of ephedrine because it's cold and flu medicine, and pseudoephedrine is present in cold and flu medicine.
In larger amounts, pseudoephedrine can also be used to manufacture methamphetamines. So the woman is taken to a Customs and Border Protection area so her remaining bags can be checked for any other possible concealments.
Have you got any more medicine in here?
And yet another concealed box is discovered.
Mongolian biscuits.
Even though the boxes do appear to contain biscuits, as the woman claims, officers are still suspicious.
It looks unusual that she's packed it inside of a juice container and she's gone to some lengths to try and conceal it.
And they're not taking any chances.
Sometimes we find ephedrine present in foodstuffs. It's been a common trend through the airport, so we're just going to conduct the iron scan test on it.
That all looks good to me.
Yeah, no problem.
The search is complete, and even though her packing methods may be unusual, officers are now certain the woman is not concealing anything illegal.
No problem, no need to cry.
And she has learned a very valuable lesson.
These are medicines, okay? So you need to declare yes to this question.
Yes.
Okay, no problems.
In Melbourne, this woman and her 2 male travelling companions returning from Cambodia have been taken aside for a bag search.
So how long were you over there for?
10 days.
10 days.
But while inspecting an item from the woman's bag, Supervising Officer Steve almost got the shock of his life. It appears to be a simple torch.
That's a taser. Nearly killed myself with it.
A taser is an electric shock device and is a prohibited import into Australia.
Did you know what it was that you were buying?
No, I just thought it was the normal torch. We were going along the beach, so we needed something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even end up opening it, using it. I got a bit too drunk on those 50-cent beers.
Yeah. And where did you buy it from?
One of the markets.
Okay. Did they not tell you when you bought it what it does, or that it's a...
No, I could hardly understand what they were saying.
Okay. So, how much did it cost?
I think it was $15. $10, $15,
But that's not the end of it. As officers continue searching the bags of one of the men she is with, another prohibited import is discovered.
We've just located a slingshot in the passenger's bag. It's a prohibited import because it has a brace on it, which then turns it into a fairly significant weapon. The passenger, he made the declaration that he was going to use it as a bait, you know, to cast bait out into the bay. We don't think that's what it's going to be used for.
Officers now need to make sure this keen fisherman is not concealing any other prohibited items.
Passengers told us that he has no other further, items in his bag. We'll have a look. We'll determine whether he's got anything in there.
And it appears that he has not been telling the truth, as officers have found a more sinister concealment.
I don't know if this will be allowed either.
Just move to the side, thank you.
Have you ever had any dealings?
This man, who has escaped from immigration detention, is now back in custody. And officers have serious concerns that he is using a false passport.
Initial analysis of that passport has led us to identify that passport as a fake passport. There's an arrival stamp for when this person claims to have arrived in 2013. We know that's impossible, as he has been unlawfully in Australia since 2011 when he escaped from immigration detention.
Where did you obtain this passport? Is this document fake? Did you apply for this visa and get granted this visa and get this label? Did immigration put that in there or somebody else? Be honest. Just be honest.
Fake.
It's fake. Okay.
With this admission, Mr. Lee will now be transported to Immigration Head Office.
Everything now. Well, pack everything now. Everything.
His passport will be forensically examined, and he will be questioned about who is providing false documents to Chinese nationals. During the search of the luggage of these 3 Australians who have returned from Cambodia, Customs and Border Protection discovered a high-powered slingshot and an electronic taser disguised as a torch. But these aren't the only things they have brought in that are prohibited.
What's that? Is that a baton? That's an extendable baton.
I just use them for fishing.
For fishing?
Yeah.
No, well,
Can't have
mate, because no, none of this stuff. All right, because we've got that and we've got this, we're going to have to go through a process now.
Yeah.
She's actually going to have to read your caution and rights,
Yeah.
only because they are prohibited imports.
Yep.
All right, you do not have to say or do anything, but anything you do say or do may be used in evidence. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
The rest of the bags belonging to these 2 are given the all clear. But their other companion has also been caught with an extendable baton.
That's what we class as a weapon. That's, if you got hit with that, it'd do quite a bit of damage, I believe.
He also offers the same explanation as his mate, that it is to be used for fishing.
They were going to bring it back to knock carp on the head with, like to finish carp off.
But the 3 offenders are not off the hook yet.
Today, we will be issuing 3 infringement notices, 1 for each of you. The fine is for $340.
Many people try to deny that certain items they are bringing in are to be used as weapons. And Officer Steve thought he'd heard every excuse until now.
That's nowhere near a fishing tool. I don't think I'd take one of these in my tackle box.
At the Sydney Container Examination Facility, Customs and Border Protection have taken aside this crate that has arrived via sea cargo from Thailand. The manifest declares that it contains a hot water heater, but Officer Sue already has concerns about its X-ray image.
Certainly doesn't look like how I would expect a hot water heater to look. Because normally you have a heating element and a big tank.
It's a tank which should be empty.
But here, this is even better because it looks like it's got the swirly pattern that's often consistent with powders and big cracks and lumps of powders, and powders often do funny things like that. I'm certainly not prepared to release this package without further examination.
It appears that this could be a sizable concealment of narcotics, so the water tank is unpacked for a thorough examination.
The X-ray image also indicated there's something fairly solid in there, so we're going to have to try and get in there and have a look at what's in this compartment. Yeah, that's just on a stand, and it's a really solid bottom there. So we'll try that last. I'm just going to try this water outlet, see if we can get that off. Ah! Bingo!
Immigration has located this man who they found living in the Adelaide suburbs. They are certain he is the same person who escaped with 3 others from immigration detention several years ago.
2 of those people have since been located again and departed. One of those is still in the community unlawful, and Mr. Lee has obviously been located today by us.
A document examiner confirms the passport is of a very bad quality and definitely fraudulent.
It has a number of different features in it than a genuine passport. So the way the paper feels, also the way it's joined together, like it's stitched together, how the cover's attached. There are some spelling mistakes, especially in Australian visa label. In my opinion, the whole thing is a counterfeit document, even the cover is not a genuine Chinese passport cover.
So did you bring that with you to Australia when you came, or have you obtained that since?
Immigration have a few more questions about the source of the false document.
After I came to Australia, I got it.
Was that after you escaped from the detention centre?
Yes.
How did you get that?
Mr. Lee tells Officer Dan that his twin sister, living in China, organised the fake passport.
In my country, as long as you can provide a photo, you can get a passport like this.
Mr. Lee is unwilling to provide any further information. But that has no bearing on immigration's decision to remove him from the country.
He'll be transferred interstate to a high-risk facility.
Lots of white powder in there. Look at this, Ricardo, got all this white powder.
At Sydney's container examination facility, Customs and Border Protection may have just uncovered a large concealment of narcotics being smuggled in this water heater from Thailand.
It was quite heavy when Ricardo and I lifted it out, and the X-ray image certainly showed density in that whole bottom section, so I think this whole bottom section from here to here is full of this powder. So I'll get one of my colleagues and we'll take a sample of that. And we've got a machine called hazmat, which is very accurate for identifying what substances are, and we'll see if we can get a positive ID on what this powder is.
The hazmat uses infrared technology to analyse the chemical composition of substances, so officers can identify exactly what they are dealing with.
Pseudoephedrine. It's pseudoephedrine.
Pseudoephedrine is a chemical precursor used by criminal syndicates to manufacture methamphetamines, such as ice.
They're now going to importing precursors and manufacturing in Australia because they can actually get more bulk by importing the precursors than manufacturing lots of stuff here.
And investigations won't finish there. The tank will now be carefully prepared for a controlled delivery.
We're in the process of substituting the drugs that are found in the inside of this water pump with an inert substance, in this case plain flour. And then we'll have to reconstruct its original packaging. So the aim is to try and have the importer take delivery of this water pump consignment, and at that stage we move in and arrest.
In Brisbane, Customs and Border Protection have taken aside this Australian couple returning from Fiji for a routine search.
Is he going to unpack the whole bag? Yep. So we've got to repack it?
No, I'll repack them.
Yeah, right.
You don't reckon I'll repack them?
Lulu, mate, right?
Why is that?
I've never seen you blokes repack bags properly. Never seen.
Okay.
You just had breakfast.
Yeah, and I'm still not good at it.
How many times have you been stopped by customs?
Well, we watch these clowns on TV too, so...
Yeah. Well, they don't show the whole story.
Mm.
They don't show us repack. No one's interested in saying that.
No, we're not.
Officer Tom is finding a number of packets of medications that have not been declared.
A couple of different types of tablets in
One's for
here.
anti-nausea, one's of these.
Yeah, okay.
And the other one's that help you sleep.
What are they made from?
It's the active ingredient in nuts.
Some of the medication seems to be in someone else's name.
Who's this person?
That's my maiden name.
Your passport then?
I thought he took the passport. You okay with that? We just stopped the cigarettes to stop you from smoking.
Supervising Officer Chris is paying close attention to the woman's very nervous behaviour. Her agitation could be a sign that she is worried that something illegal will be found. It's 4 in the morning on the outskirts of Gatton, a country town west of Brisbane, and immigration are conducting a large-scale roadside operation, pulling over workers on their way to local farms.
So immigration are here today to speak to any non-citizens about their immigration status and determine if they've got the right to work in Australia.
Farming regions like this area have harvest seasons that attract many foreign workers.
When did you arrive? When did you first come to Australia?
Traditionally over the years we've found a lot of people who come to this region may not have the correct visa to work, but it's easy work to get and they often pay cash in hand, so it doesn't really matter about their visa status to the employers.
There are people from all over the world passing through the checkpoint, and most of them are cleared to leave. But there could be a problem with the people in this van who are on their way to work on a nearby farm.
The passport? Yeah. India, November, Oscar.
All their passport numbers and details are checked by relaying them to the immigration main office.
Next one passport is Yankee Alpha.
But it turns out it's not the passengers who have a problem.
So we've just conducted a status check of you and we understand that you hold a tourist visa with a no work condition.
Yeah, I just take people to work.
You take people to work?
Yeah, I know work.
Are you paid to take people to work?
Yeah, I just
Yes,
help
you
my
are.
sister because she's little bit sick.
So under the Immigration Act, that's work as defined by us. So you're breaching your visa conditions this morning by driving people to work.
At Sydney's International Mail Centre, Customs and Border Protection officers come across a wide range of prohibited items.
Basically, we are looking for all sorts of things ranging from weapons up to narcotics.
So far today, Officer Jake has already come across 2 suspicious packages sent from Malaysia, and now he thinks he may have a third.
I can see what appear to be possibly pens of some kind, and I'm not exactly sure what these round rolls are, but it seems to be fairly inconsistent within.
Once taken to the testing room, Officer Jake selects one of the larger boxes to inspect first and immediately finds a problem with these rolls of packing tape.
Okay, these ones immediately feel heavier, so that's an indication that there could be something inside there.
And it's not hard to find out why they are unusually heavy.
So if I make an incision, and there we go. We've got a white powder in this case.
At an early morning roadside operation, immigration suspect they have caught this Indonesian man working illegally.
So you're breaching your visa conditions this morning by driving people to work.
It's likely he will need to be transferred to the local police station for further questioning.
So I'll be asking you to step out of the vehicle shortly, but at the moment if you just remain there, and then we'll have a chat about your tourist visa and why you're working on it.
But it seems that word of the situation has got out to the man's sister, who has just turned up, and she wants to know what's going on.
But he's already told me this morning that he's being paid for what he's doing today.
Because today I'm not feeling well, that's why I need someone to drive him just today.
Immigration will need to determine if this is just a one-off or an ongoing arrangement. The man's sister, Mailya, is adamant that her brother has done nothing wrong.
They're only helping me driving just in the morning to drop to the office. This is not working because I need someone help.
She actually owns and operates a business contracting workers out to the local farms.
70 people work for me and stay in my place to organize them to work in the farm. I've been checking every year, been stopped. I never even want my workers found out without visa.
But now officers need to detain her brother.
Okay, so we're going to get you to step out. Okay, so I'm going to grab onto this arm.
Maelia steps in when she sees that her brother is being detained.
What's what to say?
They wanted Teresa?
I never even worked in the farm.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, can you go step over there, please? Can you step away? Okay, you're not helping the situation. I'll come and have a chat to you later.
But you
If
can't
you'd like to
judge
speak,
people by his stuff, or if you
if
have
you would
evidence-
like to speak to
No,
someone,
this is true. But if you
ma'am,
can see
I'm not here to
them,
argue with you. If you'd
and
like
you
to speak to
find
my
them,
manager,
so many people in the other, you have found it.
Okay, ma'am, go speak to my manager.
Work.
Ma'am, go speak to my manager. She'll be happy to chat to you.
This is not fair. I'm not stupid.
As Customs and Border Protection inspect this Australian woman's bags, she seems to be becoming increasingly nervous and agitated.
Stop their cigarettes to stop you from smoking.
Already, a few packets of medication have been found that should have been declared.
There's nothing wrong with carrying medication as long as it's prescribed to.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
So a prescription is a restriction. You can't just go and buy that over the counter.
We know that.
Yeah.
So you still have to declare it, and then when we ask what it is, you inform us that you've got a prescription for it. That's all. But you still need to declare that you are carrying restricted goods. Yeah, but
Even OTC, do you understand what that is?
over the counter
Yeah, do you have to do that as well?
depending on what it is.
Yeah.
If it's just standard Panadol, no. But if you're carrying
Yeah.
20 packets of Panadol, then I would put it down there definitely, because you see you can get bags, extraders that come show up with a heap of tablets.
Now, a small medicine bottle is found that contains an unidentified liquid.
That's my ears. That's what happened on the island. My ears got wet. And the nurse, the island nurse, Kamaya nurse, they just put it into a smaller bottle.
Yeah, but it's if you read the front of that, that's codeine, which is a highly restricted drug.
At a roadside operation, immigration officers are detaining this Indonesian man for further questioning about his visa status. And his sister is not happy.
Where's your manager?
I'm just getting
I'm
right
not
on.
fair. You can't judge him because he can't speak English and you pressure them.
I'm gonna-
It's not fair.
ma'am.
He's in the farm.
I'm
You
going
can't
to
judge
talk to him. He's the person that I need to talk to. I'll have an interpreter so he
Yes.
understands me.
Yes.
Okay? But I'm going to be talking to him. He's the visa holder.
Maelia is insisting that Richard hasn't broken any immigration laws by driving workers to local farms for her employment contracting business.
It's
Can you go
not
take her
fair.
away and speak to her away?
No, you're charging people without see them.
Okay, so
Driving
that's,
helping me today because I'm not feeling well to drop to the office. That's not working in the visa. Is he working? He get paid for that? Where is the evidence?
Maelia lives and works in Australia legally, but Richard is here on a tourist visa that does not allow any work.
So no decision's been made just yet. We've made an initial decision because he holds the incorrect visa for what we think he's doing this morning.
Yeah,
which is
but you
working.
thinking doesn't
But
mean
You
right.
need to let me finish. His
Yes.
visa hasn't been cancelled yet. He's just coming with us for further interviews.
Her brother Richard will be taken to the local police station, where immigration will interview him to decide whether or not to cancel his visa. And he is not the only one.
So has anyone got a passport or their driver's licence that they haven't given to me now?
The operation has located a number of other people who seem to have the wrong visas, including all the people in this van.
Okay, we've pulled over a van. It's full of Solomon Island nationals.
Yep.
And so far we've got 5 unlawfuls, and it looks like 6 people that are on visitor visas that aren't allowed to work.
Okay.
13 people are now taken to the Gatton police station, so formal interviews can be conducted and each person's immigration status can be confirmed.
And through that door. Can I get you to take a seat just on that side? You go around this side.
Got a bit of white powder in this case.
At Sydney's International Mail Centre, Officer Jake is inspecting 3 suspicious packages that have arrived from Asia. And the very first one seems to have a concealment inside rolls of packing tape.
I'm going to take it over to a hazmat ID machine for testing. So if this is heroin, the hazmat ID will tell me so. And there we go. You can see here from the top match, it's giving us heroin.
The second box, full of toiletries, is opened, and a bottle of liquid soap is identified as the most likely place to conceal something.
Okay, so I'd expect to see quite a volume of body wash inside here, but in actual fact, there's very little, and it appears to be some kind of packages within this.
Customs and Border Protection are concerned that this Australian woman is trying to bring in an illicit substance inside a medication bottle.
If you read the front of that, that's codeine, which is a highly restricted drug.
She also has a number of unidentified pills inside another container.
So the 3 tablets that are in here, do you know what each one of them is?
One's just like vomiting, and 2 are to help you sleep.
Do you have any other medication that hasn't been declared?
The pills will be taken and analysed to see if they are prohibited. But there could now be another problem, as a number of graphic adult magazines have been found that may be prohibited or restricted.
They were bought here, those?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That doesn't actually have a whole lot of impact then, because there are restrictions depending on the type of pornography that it is.
Well, Fiji didn't. It doesn't say it on Fiji, Paddy, and that's all we took it.
We're talking about Australian law. We're talking about export from Australia and import to Australia.
As much as I know about the law, that's if they're not sealed, they should be okay. Have you got a phone there?
No, phone's over there.
I just want to let the papers up there.
Can't actually use your phone while you're in there.
We're allowed to ring a solicitor, so we're going to ring a solicitor.
You can't use your phone for any purpose in there.
So how do you ring a solicitor?
Why do you need to ring a solicitor?
Well, I want to ring a solicitor now.
What for?
I want to ring a solicitor. I don't care what. I don't care. I want to ring a solicitor now.
So, how many times have you done this before for her? Driven the workers to work?
This Indonesian man, who was here on a tourist visa, was stopped at a dawn roadside operation, driving a busload of farm workers for his sister. And it may not be the only time he has done this.
So for around about 1 month being here, or 1.5 months, I've done it maybe 10 times or 15 times, I forget.
Having admitted to driving the bus on a regular basis, Richard is issued with an intention to cancel his visa. Now he will have one last chance to plead his case.
I don't understand about situation in Australia. I come here just have my sister. I don't understand. I just help. I get the problem. I can't too much. I don't know. In my country, if you have family, you need to help. No need to pay, get the pay or something. Just help. That's it.
Richard's response will need to be compelling, as it may be his only hope of remaining in Australia. An Australian woman and her companion, who are returning from Fiji, have been found to be carrying unidentified pills and adult magazines that may be prohibited or restricted.
No, because these guys haven't even told us. They've told us nothing. They pulled us out of the line and they didn't say why they were searching us. Really? I don't have to tell you why we need to talk to a solicitor, because, mate, you know what that is? That's reciprocal manners. We've spotted this, guys, we just want to have a look at it. You don't. This is the wrong way to go about it, mate. It really is. You don't treat people like this. You really don't. If you had said, guys, you might have an extra bottle of booze here, you know, have a look. You did not do anything of the sort. And it's because I don't have to. Okay, that's fine. And, but you need to actually, you haven't made one bit of communication with us. So, yeah.
Now, I just spoke to the supervisor and she informed me that you've requested to talk to the solicitor. He's happy for you to contact the solicitor. In no way is that going to change the fact that we're going to continue with our search and continue to check the bags, but we are happy for you to contact the solicitor.
Well, just do the search and I'll call him after we've finished now.
You can call him now if you like.
No. Okay. We'll actually finished.
No other items of concern are found in the bags, but the magazines are taken away to be classified, while Supervising Officer Chris has the test results of the pills. And it's not good news.
Okay, so we just tested that and that's come back as a border control substance being morphine. We've also tested the other two substances and they're also border controlled tablets, and we'll be seizing all the items today.
The liquid in the codeine bottle gets the all clear, as do the magazines. But the couple is not off the hook.
So the outcome for today is that we've issued an infringement notice for $340 for the border controlled substances. The pornographic material was classified to be to meet Australian standards and been released. And the Australian Federal Police have also spoken to both the passengers about importing of border controlled substances.
Finally, after paying the $340 fine, the couple is now free to go.
It was over nonsense. It was over a few medication. That was what it was over in the end. So I have a real problem with being dragged out and not being told what they're looking for.
But Customs and Border Protection don't need to give any explanation for conducting a search.
When you travel into Australia, all your belongings are under Customs control until such time as they're released. So that's why we were searching your bags today.
At the Sydney International Mail Centre, 3 individual boxes from Asia are being examined. And in one box, Officer Jake has already found a concealment of heroin inside rolls of tape.
We've got a white powder in this case.
And inside another box, he has now located 3 packages hidden inside a bottle of body wash.
I'm thinking this could possibly be heroin, so I'm going to go straight to a heroin narc field test. We're looking for it to turn a dark green colour. And we can see there, that's gone green.
That's 2 positive hits out of 3. This box, which contains a business shirt, could make it a hat trick.
And immediately I can see some kind of package. Oh, there we go. You can see that this is some kind of brownish powder. It's fairly rocky. All right, let's take a small sample of the powder. And there we go, immediately we've got a green colour. Okay, so from here I'm going to repackage, tape them up, and we'll send them on to the Federal Police. We're looking at about 400 grams of suspected heroin, and 3 hits in one day is really quite good.
Immigration believes Richard has been working illegally for his sister. He is now faced with having his tourist visa cancelled. But first, he has one last chance to plead his case.
Adat dan kebiasaan orang Indonesia.
Yeah, according to the traditions and the habits of Indonesians, all members of the family, it is compulsory for them to help out other members of the family without being paid, and they have to do it unconditionally. And I feel that helping out family or even friends, I feel that that is not breaching anything, or it shouldn't be classified as wrongdoing.
It's important to note, even if you are just helping out family, someone else could have been paid to do that job that you were doing today. Okay?
Officers discuss all the details of Richard's case to decide if he has breached his visa conditions.
But he hasn't disputed the fact that he is working. He just considers it helping, and he considers that not breaching his conditions, and he later said that if he had been aware this is a breach, he wouldn't have done it. However, I'm satisfied there are grounds to cancel. It does breach his condition 8101, no work, and I'll go notify him now if you're okay with that.
Richard is now given the bad news.
After weighing up all the information available to me, I'm satisfied that the grounds for cancelling the visa outweigh the reasons for not cancelling. I've therefore decided to cancel your visa.
Immigration will now allow his sister, Mailya, to come in to learn of Richard's fate. But she is far from happy with the decision.
I swear to God, this is not fair. It's a brother helping their sister. Doesn't mean he's working. He never worked, he only helping me.
One of the clear indications that there's a definite breach here is that he said in the interview that he's run the people to work 10 to 15 times already just this month in the time that he's been here in Australia. He's only arrived about just over a month ago. So he's definitely, it's not just a one-off, it's a repeated action that he's doing regularly.
After saying his goodbyes, Richard will be escorted to a detention centre, along with all the other people caught with expired visas or breaching their visa conditions. An elderly Swiss citizen has arrived in Melbourne, and Customs and Border Protection officers have noticed a few irregularities in his travel movements and plans.
Here for a holiday?
Happy to be in Melbourne.
Yeah? You come here for a holiday?
Yes, a little bit sightseeing.
What's your plan? What will you do?
Oh, sightseeing. I think I go to Sydney.
Okay.
To look around. I don't know exactly what I'm just.
Okay. So why did you come to Melbourne?
He doesn't seem to have much of a plan for the short time he's here.
He's coming for 4 days on a holiday. He's been in Hong Kong for a holiday also, and just, it was a little vague. I couldn't really understand why he's coming out here, so we've put him in. We're going to have a bit of a further look.
He seems to have an excessive amount of baggage for a short 4-day holiday. When asked the standard questions before every bag search, Officer Dave immediately senses a problem.
Okay, did you pack the bags yourself?
This one, yes.
What about this one? Did you pack this one?
No.
Who packed that one?
Somebody, a friend in Hong Kong.
A friend in Hong Kong packed it. Okay.
Here in Australia, the man is coming to the
hotel to collect. Okay. What's your friend's name?
I don't know.
You don't know your friend's name?
No.
For him not to know who packed his suitcase and for someone to be collecting it from a hotel gives an indication that this bag may contain something illegal. When arriving in Australia, most New Zealanders are automatically granted a special category visa, which allows them to live and work here. However, if a traveller has been sentenced to 12 months or more in prison, which is the case for this man, they will not be eligible for this visa.
So what we have done is we have contacted New Zealand Police and asked for your criminal history check. Yeah. And this is what has come back.
Yeah.
So could you please have a look?
The list of his charges is extensive, but it seems they all relate to cheque fraud committed in the 80s.
I just done a whole lot of stupid things that I should never have done. And now I'm paying for it.
Can you give me a little bit more detail about
I had a chequebook.
Yeah.
Never had their credit.
And you used the chequebook knowing that you actually had no
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
in the account. Okay. So you changed 59 checks. Is that why?
Well, that's how many charges should have been on there, or 50-something,
Okay.
to different places.
Different places. You don't remember?
All
what
over New
place?
Zealand.
All over. Okay. So did you serve time in prison?
12 months, 6 months.
6 months.
I was sentenced to 12 months,
Yeah.
but done 6.
This admission of a 12-month sentence makes him ineligible for the special category visa that he is hoping to enter on. And unless he has a very good reason for being here, he could be on the next plane back to New Zealand.
Why did you decide to get on the plane and come to Australia
Well,
without a visa?
Really, is to try and get my daughter that lives here
Hmm.
and take her back to New Zealand. Because she's getting punched up by an Australian partner.
Anything to declare?
In Sydney, Biosecurity officers believe they may have detected organic material in the suitcases of this couple arriving from China.
Got some eggs. All right, this is you? You? Her? Okay.
Their incoming passenger cards are in their own language, Mandarin, on which they have stated they've nothing to declare.
You are fully aware of the contents of your bag?
Using a translation booklet, Officer Andrea gives them an opportunity to rethink their answers.
Do you have anything to declare?
Mail.
Mail? Nothing to declare. This one, look.
The couple is adamant that they have nothing to declare, but Officer Andrea is not convinced.
Open your bag. Yeah.
And as soon as their first bag is opened, the truth comes out.
Soy sauce.
And they seem to think there's a simple solution to the trouble they are now in.
No, it's not just in the bin. Here, you said no, look.
The passenger card they have signed is a legal document, and making a false declaration can result in a hefty on-the-spot fine.
Food, look. It says nuts. Dried fruit, monkey head mushroom. No good.
There are surprises stashed everywhere.
Egg. No good. Yeah, it's no... Here, you said mayo. No good. As I pull out the food, they're telling me just to discard it.
But as Officer Andrea moves on to search the second bag, the pile of undeclared items grows along with the passenger's annoyance.
Mayo.
A friend in Hong Kong packed it. Okay.
Without even having to search the bag of this Swiss man, Customs and Border Protection are confident one of the bags he is carrying will contain narcotics.
So do you know what's inside that suitcase?
Clothes. For children, for family clothes.
Okay, so
The man explains that in a hotel in Hong Kong, the people showed him that the bag only contained clothes for him to bring to Australia.
We have only opened the thing and I have seen a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay.
Okay.
I have no idea what this exactly is.
So you just know what he's told
Just
you?
opened and then...
Okay. Opened and had a look. Okay. All right. These two?
Yes.
They belong to you, the bags, the
That's
contents,
correct,
that?
yes, yes.
And that one belongs to your friend?
Yes. Just came and I don't know the name of the man who is coming to the hotel. I don't know him.
Okay. What about the man who gave you the suitcase?
No.
You don't know his name either?
No.
Okay.
His story that he's carrying it for a friend and that someone will collect it from his hotel has all the classic indications of a drug mule.
If someone gives you a bag, you don't know their name, that's quite a concern for customs when you're crossing the border.
No, they haven't declared anything.
In Sydney, the suitcases belonging to this couple arriving from Beijing are revealing a wide variety of prohibited goods.
Got the supermarket.
And even with the help of a translator, the couple have not come up with a valid reason for having provided misleading information about the contents of their luggage.
They can read, but their mind was not on it.
Okay, well, when I...
They have been given numerous opportunities to declare the food items in their bags, including the help of a translation booklet.
Okay, but when I asked them the book, and I went through it several times, I gave them lots of opportunities.
When they say meat, and they don't have...
They've got a whole bag of fresh fruit, which I haven't even opened yet. So, Vince, see? Yeah, look at this. They've got too much food. Oh my goodness, still coming out. Eggs, male. The eggs can have the risk of bringing Newcastle's disease or avian influenza into our poultry industry. They've got some apples, could bring in fruit fly or fire blight. And I think they've got some oranges there as well, which could bring citrus canker. Oh yeah, we have some meat as well. Vince, they're looking at a fine today.
A lot of this food will need to be destroyed, and the fine could run into hundreds of dollars.
Because I did give them lots of opportunities. Yeah, it's quite serious. You know, when we're looking at biosecurity risks, they are some of the higher risks that we need to sort of prevent coming into the country. So we just got to weigh everything up and get them to find them.
The couple is finally realising how serious their situation is. In Melbourne, this concerned father is trying to convince immigration to allow him to enter the country to rescue his daughter, even though his criminal past may prevent him from doing so.
Because she's getting punched up by an Australian partner. As far as I'm concerned, he's a junkie.
The man then explains that he decided to take the risk with his visa as he wanted to rescue his daughter as quickly as possible.
We had already booked tickets, and we sort of run out of time between getting on and coming over, flying over, or waiting for a visa.
I assume your daughter knows that you're coming to Australia.
Yeah, but she doesn't know why I'm here.
And you're going to be staying with...
I'll be staying in Melbourne with the son. I've got a son waiting out the front.
All right. So you do understand that there is a very real possibility that we will refuse you entry into the country today?
Family emergency or not, no one can enter the country without a valid visa. Officer Yuki will discuss the case with her supervisor, but it's not looking good for this desperate father. Customs and Border Protection have several major alarm bells ringing about this elderly Swiss man who has arrived in Melbourne.
During our initial questioning, we asked him about his bags and if they belong to him. And one of the bags indicated that it doesn't belong to him and it was given to him in Hong Kong by a friend. But then we asked a few more questions and he doesn't even know this friend's name, so I'm quite concerned about that bag.
Officer Craig wants to establish who has paid for his trip.
Who gave you the money to come to Australia?
Grandchild.
Grandchild, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
who was here for a whole year.
Oh, very good. Okay.
And she gave me some money that I can go and visit Australia.
Sometimes criminal organisations target elderly, naive people to become unwitting drug mules to pass through borders unnoticed.
We're going to have a look through your bags today.
And if there are any drugs inside, officers want to find any evidence that could identify others involved.
We have what appears to be a phone number on it. Is that your phone number, sir?
That must be the number from the woman who brought me this.
So, you don't own that bag?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Who gave you that bag?
A young woman came in to the hotel in Hong Kong.
A young woman came to a hotel?
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't never met her before.
Yeah. Is she from Hong Kong?
I think so, yes.
And how do you know this woman?
I don't know how I don't know her. She somehow she knew that I'm going to Melbourne and that take the advantage that I can transport some
So you're transporting something for... What's this lady's name?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
The man is not providing any more details, so Officer Craig decides to step up the process to the next level.
I'm concerned about the bag today, all right? What I want to do is take it into another room, okay, where it'll be recorded, okay, and we're going to examine the bag in there. Can you scroll through?
Yep. Okay. You're not obliged to say or do anything, but anything you do say or do may be used in evidence. Do you understand that, sir?
Okay.
Okay.
There's just so much. It's like a fruit shop in here.
Biosecurity officers are weighing a large volume of seized foodstuffs and herbal medicines intercepted on its way into the country.
What's in there?
It's home-cooked food containing meat, which makes it strictly prohibited. And the passengers are beginning to lose patience as their lunch joins the growing pile of confiscated snacks.
Sausage.
So the tray thing, so that's a whole seat. They have got a lot of items that are of high risk to come into the country, so there really isn't any option Oh yeah, tree sap. Put that under traditional medicine. Okay, wow, that's
and
a whole
we've covered
page.
everything. Okay, I'll dispose of this.
Yep, thank you.
The passengers are fined $340, a penalty they could have avoided simply by declaring the food they were carrying.
Thank you. Hopefully they can go home and educate the rest of their families and that to declare on their cards.
Finally, the couple is allowed to leave, along with their bags and wallet, which are both now a bit lighter.
Okay.
But anything you do say or do may be used in evidence. Do you understand that, sir?
Okay.
Okay.
This elderly Swiss man is having his rights read to him before officers take him to a private room where they will search one of his bags, which they strongly suspect contains narcotics.
I don't think it's necessary at all. I'm 100% convinced that nothing is wrong with this.
We just have concerns about what might be in here.
Yes, I understand
Because
that.
you've told us that a lady you don't know has brought it to your hotel. You're going to give it to someone here.
It's a bit curious, of course.
It's ringing alarm bells for us. So
Yes.
Yeah, so
I know, I understand that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's very curious.
Just get you to walk. Just follow this officer here, sir.
Once in the room, the bag is searched and officers find that no objects are inside that could have a concealment, which now leaves the bag itself as the likely hiding place.
Do you want to open or?
A detector dog is brought in. It will sit if it senses any traces of drugs. The bag is taken for an X-ray, and Officer Craig notices an unusual feature that may be another indicator that there is a concealment inside.
Yeah, we've got a heavy suitcase, but it's quite thick, the base here. So just going to run through the X-ray, and that should give us a better picture of it.
And the result clearly shows a large organic mass hidden in the base of the suitcase.
So yeah, you can see all organic matter here underneath that lining of the suitcase. So not confirmed there's narcotics, there's definitely concealment in the bag, but given the history of previous bags like this, yeah, we're thinking it's narcotics.
This anxious New Zealander is trying to enter Australia on a special category visa so he can rescue his daughter from an abusive relationship. But he may be ineligible for this visa due to his criminal past.
Based on everything you've told me and the circumstance around your conviction, the details of your conviction, I do refuse your application for a special category visa.
Yeah.
It's not the answer he was hoping for, but there is some good news. Immigration has decided the man has sufficient compassionate and compelling grounds for them to offer him an alternative visa.
So this allows you to enter the country and remain in Australia for 30 days.
Yep.
Okay, there is a no work condition.
Yep.
All right, and we can only grant it to you once every 5 years. So regardless of your circumstances, we cannot give you another one for 5 years.
Yep.
It's a bittersweet moment.
Oh, I am happy to get this though. I'm very pleased about this. But still, I've still got a bit of a battle on our hands. All right, tonight.
It's looking more and more likely that this elderly man from Switzerland has a bag that is containing narcotics.
I've still got a lot of concerns about this bag. He's claiming he picked up the bag in Hong Kong. He doesn't know who gave it to him. He's going to deliver it here to Australia, but again, he doesn't know who he's going to give it to.
A drug detector dog has given a positive reaction, and an X-ray image shows an inconsistency inside the bag.
You can see all the organic matter here underneath that lining of the suitcase. So there's a concealment in the bottom of the bag.
Once taken to the tool room to gain access to whatever is hidden inside, there are even more signs that indicate there is something wrong.
Just by looking at the bag, it's obvious that it has been tampered with. You can see there's a cutting around the lining and glued back in.
A drill will be used to penetrate the solid layer and to take a sample to be tested and identified. A series of nick tests should identify what the substance is.
Basically, depending on the colour, we'll get more of an indication of what the substance actually is. So we'll start off with just an initial test. When we've cracked the chemical ampule, we had an immediate orange colour, rapidly turning to a brown colour, which would indicate it is an amphetamine type substance.
The next test is more specific to a particular type of amphetamine.
If it's a dark blue substance, it would indicate that the powder within the base of the suitcase, the presumptive testing would indicate that the substance is methamphetamine.
And it does turn a very dark blue.
So the bag is tested positive to concealment of methamphetamine in the lining of the case. I've just told the passenger that you're concealing narcotics in your bag and you've imported that into Australia. He seems quite genuinely shocked about it, so the matter's going to be referred to the Australian Federal Police to further investigate.
The visibly distressed old man is either an unwitting pawn caught in the dangerous game of international drug smuggling, or he has knowingly used his elderly appearance as a cover to transport narcotics. It will now be up to investigators and the courts to decide which one.